Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good.
Time to get real, and welcome everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. Oh my goodness, I'm having technical issues. I'm trying to log into my Ustream channel. And I'm also trying to get the chat room up, and for some reason, okay, you know what? I might have to start the show again. I'm going to have to start the show again. What's up? Hold on a second. Let me just make sure. I'm looking, I'm searching. Oh, my goodness. What's up? Radio host, studio. Forgive me, audience. I'm going to have to start the show all over again because I can't see the chat room. Let me look again. No. All right, I'm going to start the show again. Here we go. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. Jesus. You know, I am technically challenged, I have to say. I'm going to start the theme song, and we're going to start the show in less than a minute.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real.
Time to get real and time to be really, really challenged. I'm going to figure this out. I'll have it all figured out. What I'll do is I'll practice during the week how to live stream and have the show at the same time. I did it last week, but for whatever reason, I wasn't punching or clicking the right buttons. Anyway, welcome everyone, and thank you for allowing me to express the moment. Welcome everyone to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington, and I'm so glad and so grateful that you're here with me to share the time and share each other's wisdom and each other's experiences and each other's events and circumstances. Just that's the purpose of the show. This show is about real life, everyday experiences and circumstances, and basically what I like to do is to dissect all of the circumstances, every event that happens, every relationship, and figure out why we're not as happy as we could be. And of course, I'm talking about this foundational happiness, this internal happiness, happiness that comes from within, this peace and contentment. And for me, if I am connected and I can feel that I'm connected, plugging in, I can experience anything or anyone and still remain at peace. And I didn't always live like that, and I didn't always have that ability. And so now that I've over time, over practice, but more importantly, over really, really wanting the feeling of peace and contentment regardless of my circumstances, wanting to be happy, my number one priority. And that's what the universe is giving me. Today the topic is, and I'm still trying to launch this chat room, but let me try one more time. Today the topic is personal and spiritual growth, and is there any effort involved? Well, I contend that there's no effort involved, and I'm going to explain why. But before I do, I had a really, really interesting, engaging guest yesterday. I don't know if any of you listened to the show, but her name is Sister Jenna. Well, she goes by the name Sister Jenna. And she was very knowledgeable. She shared concepts that I hadn't even thought of or heard of. And I pride myself into researching as much as possible. I mean, it's my pastime, it's my hobby, it's what I love to do. And she had a couple of concepts that I really, really loved. I loved her concept of meditation and how meditation isn't really about clearing up the mind. And then she shared with us her concepts of when you're meditating to let go of all of your labels, let go of even your label of your gender and your title and your name. Just really insightful and thought in different ways of thinking. But one thing that she said that I was not scratching my head, but it actually caused me to perk up a little bit. She was talking about the world and the state of the world, and that there is no peace in the world. I mean, I've been on her website and the state of the world, some of the questions that she submitted for me to ask her, and I usually don't ask all the questions that the guests submit. I just go with the flow. But one of the questions that she wanted me to ask was about the state of the world and the lack of peace in the world. And I have a different take on the world and the state. And before I share that with you, I want to say to you, my audience, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that what I share is what I've experienced and what works for me. And I don't pretend to think that what works for me is going to work for you, because we are. That's the beauty of this. We're all so different, and we're all on our own journey, and we're all on our own path in our own time. And with the show, I just like to share with you what works for me. And if anything that I say doesn't work for you, you can chuck it and put it into the recycle bin or do whatever. And something that Sister Jenna said didn't work for me. And that was, she was talking about how children at 3 years old and how they're on iPads and they're not experiencing nature and being out in the outside and this technical shift that we're having. and the lack of peace in the world. And honestly, for me, I look at the state of the world and I don't see anything wrong with it. Now, the funny thing is, I explained this to Sister Jenna, and because I said, the universe doesn't make any mistakes, everything's in order, and I explained this to Sister Jenna, and if you're listening, she says, well, Rebecca, I can help you with that. And I really appreciate and love the fact that she thought I needed help with it. And I really try to keep an open mind. And it's not even an open mind. I know what resonates for me deep in my soul. I mean, in my soul, I can feel the truth. I can feel the truth for me, and that's all I can speak of. But I can feel the truth, and I can feel that the truth is connected to the universe. And so when she said she could help me with it, I was amused by it, because I don't think I needed any help with it. Fast forward, and I am not able to open the chat room. I've tried it a few times. Let me try it one more time. My son came into town yesterday, and we were having dinner. And he was telling me the latest book that he was reading, and he was sharing with me, what his main issue is. And his main issue is an issue of self-respect. I know he's not listening, because last night he left the house and he says, Mom, I don't know when I'm going to see you again. So I know he's not up at this time, so I know he's not listening. But actually, even if he was, it would be okay to talk about it. He's an open book. But he said that he really wants, he more than anything, he wants self-respect, and he wants to be famous. He's very talented. That's why he's living in New York. But anyway, with all the opportunities there. And I said, well, self-respect is a man-made concept, and self-respect is an illusion. Now, mind you, my son didn't ask me one damn thing. He didn't ask for my opinion. And just like Sister Jenna said to me, offered her suggestions, her take on it, that's exactly what I did to my son a few hours after the broadcast yesterday. So this universe really has me by the rear end and really showing me that whatever I send out, I am going to be getting back. So I was really mindful of that, and I'm making it a conscious decision that the next time I'm in my son's presence, which we don't know if he's coming home today, tomorrow, or the next day, to just listen and accept him and his ideas and all of the way that he thinks, without any commentary from the peanut gallery, which would be me. One of the greatest gifts that I think that I can give to a person is total acceptance of their ideas, of their thoughts, of all of it. And I just wanted to share that with you, audience. That was my big, wake-up call. I have so many wake-up calls during the day, I lose track. But I wanted to share that with you. And, I see I have someone that wants to talk to me. Is this my aloha friend? Is this Jay? Good morning, Jay. Hello, good morning. You're on Reality Spirituality. Okay, you don't want to talk. That's okay.
It's all right. Hold on.
Oh, hold on.
Hey.
Okay, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Hi, good morning. Aloha.
Hey, aloha.
What's up?
I was looking at a show topic regarding the work it takes to grow yourself spiritually and personally. Yeah, for myself, it took a lot of work. I think it depends on each person where they're going to take it to, actually, where they're going to really work on issues, or they're going to, I don't know, just float along and just do it, dabble with this and dabble with that. So I don't know. It's always, I think that journey is always actually personal, I think, too.
Mm-hmm. I agree totally. Let me explain to you what I mean by no work. Okay?
Okay.
You know me. I sent my son this quote, and it says, all the Buddhas of all the ages have been telling you a very simple fact, and this is the quote. It says, the quote is, be, don't try to become. Within these two words, be and becoming, your whole life is contained. Being is enlightenment, and becoming is ignorance. I'm just going to read that again. Be, don't try to become. Within these two words, be and becoming, your whole life is contained. Being is enlightenment, and becoming is ignorance. Ignorance. Now, I sent this quote to my son, and, of course, he replied back, and he says, I like the idea of just to be, and I understand not always trying to become, but that's confusing to me because isn't growing and evolving becoming? Are you with me with that one?
Yeah.
And then I said, growing and evolving doesn't take effort. Growing and evolving is natural. It just comes naturally with no effort. And I give the example of a baby, of an animal, a baby, a baby animal or a real baby, or a rose bush. It doesn't take any effort for the rose bush to grow or bloom, and it doesn't take any effort for the baby to grow and teeth and crawl and walk. It just comes naturally. And so I said, that's what I mean. And then he questioned that, and he says, well, what about, and this is exactly what you're saying, Jay, that, you put some work into it and you put some effort into it and discovering the issues and wanting to know, and just seeking, wanting to grow. And it felt like effort. And that's what he replied back to me. And then I said, I'm not talking about using effort to grow. I mean, I'm using effort to stay connected to the universe. And I'm giving an example. A couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago, I was, of course, at work, and my immediate supervisor is out on vacation. And so it's funny because the lady that takes over, her nickname is the Warden. And yes, I gave her the nickname. So she actually asked us, the team, to email and or call as soon as we arrive to the office. Now, this isn't a policy or a procedure, and she just wants to implement that because of whatever reason. I'm not even going to put a label on it. But she wants us to, in other words, she doesn't want us to just, it's like punching a clock, and we don't punch a clock in our office. And so I was having some resistance to that because you just can't come up with some policy that every time, that when I get into the office, I have to email you and call you and let you know I'm there. I mean, it's not that type of an office. And nobody punches in. So I had a resistance from that. And so I typed out my email, my resisting email, and I typed it out, and where is it written, that policy and procedure, and now what is this, a new rule, and is this cleared with Sacramento? I mean, typed it all out. And then I stopped, and I deleted it. And about 30 seconds later, I said, no. I got to send this email. Typed it out again. Maybe I made it a little bit softer, a little bit more universal with not so much emotion into it, a little kinder. Typed it out. And then I deleted it again. And the reason why, and honestly, I deleted this email and I typed it out in different ways and tried to say it in 100 different, not 100 different ways, but at least 10 different ways. But the bottom line is, I said, well, what am I going to be creating? If I send an email to her, I'm going to be creating. I'm not going to be creating peace. I'm going to be creating more drama. And so what I finally, but on that day, I was so torn. I mean, I was compelled to tell her what I thought. And that is what I mean about the effort. I did not send the email. I worked it out the next day. I said, you know what, when I get to the office, I'm going to come to your office and I'm just going to say, hi, good morning, maybe give her a hug and just keep it moving. So that's how I resolved it. But that day, I swear at least 10 times I typed an email and didn't send it. So what I'm saying is the effort comes with the choices that I made to either create peace or create drama. So, and my growth had nothing to do with nothing to do with my effort. My growth comes naturally. But the work and the effort comes with the choices that I make in every moment. That's what I mean. What do you think?
Yeah, it's about that understanding of free will and choice. I've been watching the Matrix series all over again. I watched all 3 of them on the weekend, but it's really interesting watching that too. And yeah, you're right about that, about the choices that we make. Sometimes it's the choices that the problem is actually about choice, eh? It can be about choice. But it's interesting you say that, but you can actually look at nature to how we actually, how it works in terms of like the spirituality, growing, if you like that, like a lotus, right? It grows in the mud and rises up to the top to blossom. So we can look at that as metaphorically, and how we actually grow too spiritually too, rising up the mud. Okay, and maybe something could be like a trauma or some sort of that kicks you started and to blossom into a lotus. So I feel that, like I said, it's just it's about the choices that we make for growing spiritually. For myself personally, right now, I'm in a really good state of mind of peace right now. I'm not feeling that well physically because I've got a cold, but state of mind of just being peaceful, just peaceful. So again, making choices when some confronts you with some things that can bring a rise of emotions, and right at that moment, you can react to what they're saying or respond to what they're saying or feeling. So if it's important to you or not. So that's how I look at it right now. So I don't know. I just that's my own personal thing about the work we do spiritually and personally. So.
Okay, well, I love that, because actually on my notes for today's show, it says it's not what you do, it's how you respond, and how you respond. And how you respond is not judged. Man judges and the universe doesn't judge. And we're all different. And so you said something really, 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 really important, and I don't even know if you realize it. You said that you weren't feeling well, but you said you were still in a state of peace. And that's really huge. Because I don't know about you, but I grew up, if I had a cold or if I had some kind of sickness, I didn't feel good. I had the sickness and the ailment, and I felt bad about it. So just the fact that you can say, so you've always felt peaceful when you were sick or ill, Jay?
No. Just now, I'm taking medicine for it, or just trying to get rid of it, but I'm not feeling woulda, coulda, shoulda. I just feel, well, okay, well, my body's feeling worn down. I'm just feel, I don't know, tranquil and peace. I'll probably do some meditation after the show, but yeah, I just feel peaceful about it. So I think that's what the learning thing about this year is about. Like I said, it's about the faith. I think I mentioned in your last show on the chat room about faith, trust, and surrender, and bringing peace, just bringing peace to yourself, to create this year. That's what it is, I think, all about.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm just trying to find the. Well, but see, that's what I'm saying. How many? Now, this your ability to be at peace, even though you have a cold. Does that take effort for you now? I mean, you said you used to not be able to feel like that. However, now you can. So did it take effort for you to be able to feel peaceful, or did you just evolve into feeling peaceful?
Actually, it's about the practice of it.
The practice of wanting to feel peaceful and feeling peaceful. So it just automatically filters in to whatever happens during your day.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting you say this because you're an aerobic teacher, right? Aerobic teacher, I think?
Yes, I am.
That's right. And when students look at you, they say, oh, do they try to actually mimic you and see if you can do those moves real, like, wow, or I wish I can be like that and things like that? Because, you know, I just was curious about that. It leads into a question, actually, about this. Do people feel like they feel not intimidated, but they say, "Well, I wish I could be like that," and things like that? Do they do that?
Yes, they feel challenged by me, and some people really accept the challenge and love the challenge and want the challenge, and some people are okay with the challenge, and then when they're not okay, they just stop exercising. I've been teaching for over 30 years, and I'm. It's interesting. That's a really good question. I've never been asked that, and
okay.
I'm really thinking that. See. Let me just share with you. There are three types of people that I found in the exercising world. Three types. Mm-hmm. And there are people that love to exercise, and they just feel great when they're doing it. I mean, athletes, you love exercising. It's part of your life, and if you didn't do it, you would feel like your arm is missing. And then there's a second type of person that really doesn't like to exercise, but they do it because they know it's good for them, and they're disciplined enough to do it, even though they don't like to do it. And there's the third type of person that just doesn't like it, and they don't do it, and they don't want to do it, and they're not interested in doing it. Now, so I asked you this question: which type do you think I am?
Probably maybe all three sometimes, and how you feel during that day.
Well, I'm telling you, I am number 3. I do not like exercising. If I'm not teaching, I do not exercise. And I had to discover that about myself. And I did. And when I tell people that, they don't believe me because I have so much fun in the class and I have so much fun teaching. But that is what I love to do. I love to teach. I love to motivate. I love to challenge. It's actually my stage. I'm entertaining. And so when you ask that question about different people, just like you answered my question, it's an individual thing. It's very individual. I mean, I have people that are athletes, and if there's an athlete in my class, you can believe me, the challenge of the class is up 500 notches because I'm one people. I love it when people are moaning and groaning and huffing and puffing and, oh my God, I mean, I just get a thrill out of it. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your question? Did I even get to your question? Did I even answer
You did,
question?
Actually. You answered it because as an individual, because I have one person who I work at says, okay, I like to do some yoga, but they were watching the yoga teacher and says, you know what? you're on there for him. You're not supposed to mimic the other person. You're on your own path. So just don't even think about that, because you'll wreck your body, right, basically, if you're trying to mimic your teacher and do it. Because this is about ego. It's like, oh, gee, I'm now in competition with the person. So, but you know, you're right about that. It's individual. This work can mean many different things to more people. The love of work, or the work, like you said, those three different things about what students come to you, right? You know, do they like aerobics? Do they don't like aerobics, or just love being there? So, you know, you get the middle. I think being in the middle of the road, I think is going to be the way, because sometimes your body doesn't feel like doing meditation, or if your body doesn't feel like, you know, learning about more spiritual stuff. It's just it's really a personal path, right? So work can mean different things. So I feel that it's about more. It's less and more of the work, and more of the practice. Actually, you love to practice spiritually. You love to do the aerobics. It's about the practice of it. It's all about the practice. It always has been about the practice. It hasn't been about the knowledge of it. It's all about practice of it.
Okay, Jay. Listen, Jay, I got my pen right now, and I'm writing that down. That's going to be one of my next articles. I love the practice of it. Oh, yes. And you are absolutely right. Every single day I'm practicing. You're right. I call it being in school.
Yep.
I love that. Okay, I want you to share with me one thing, unless you don't want to, but I'm going to make you anyway. I want you to share with me and the audience one thing that is challenging you right now, my dear Jay. One thing.
Getting myself out there more.
Okay, now you know me. Let's be specific. What does that mean? Let's all the way down. Getting yourself out there more is very broad. What do you mean?
It's about connecting with people on a physical basis, like meeting people, talking to people. Well, talking to people, it's okay to talk to people, but just meeting people and just like, hey, you know, where would you like to go out to coffee or something like that, or stuff, you know, just put myself out there more, just being Jay, basically.
So you want, or you would like to have more social activities with people?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm actually making an effort to do that. So tonight I'm going to go do some yoga outside with some people out in a park, which would be great. But I have a choice to do that, or go in a group of people. There's going to be 25 people in a group who are spiritually minded. So either yoga or that. So it's the same thing. Which one is benefiting me more, if you want to call it that. I'm going to have more fun at it or whatever. It's probably yoga right now. So, but it's about doing the action also. Just like, okay, if I like to get myself more out there, I got to join more groups or call more people. Hey, let's go for coffee and things like that. So I'm actually doing that right now.
Okay, so share with me what is it that you so is it all types of people, or people that have the same mindset you have, you know, on this pattern of practicing and growing and spirituality, or is it like-minded people, or just all people?
Like-minded people, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to go to a coffee meeting actually for the next couple of weeks, which is like, I don't know who I'm going to meet there, but we'll see. But people just like to talk about things. So I'm more about let's talk about like-minded things. You know, like I said, you get people who talk about things that you know, current events and things like that. But you get a bunch of spiritual people. They're basically trying to figure out things, work as a collective to grow. You know, to grow spiritually, right? And you know, maybe this may work and that might work. So it can be lots of deep conversation, and I love that, actually. Just like I'm having conversations with you right now, right? So it's a deep subject what you're talking about.
You know, do you consider yourself a leader?
Myself? I do teach. And I have lots of responsibilities with the teachings that I do. But my philosophy and my practice is about keeping it really simple. Sometimes it's always a lot better that way. I feel it's a lot better all the time because your ego mind doesn't collect all the knowledge up and say, okay, if I should do it this way and that way and whatever. So that's how I look at it right now. Just keep it simple. Just practice, my simple meditation and do my yoga or whatever, just to keep myself, balanced in this time period right now where it's so chaotic around myself. Yeah.
Jay, you didn't even answer my question.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. Because
I am a say I'm the teacher.
Well, yeah, but no, saying you're a teacher doesn't mean that you're a leader. So I don't
know. Leader in what?
No, leader, period. Just leader energy. So that's really, see, this is, listen, I love having a conversation with you because I just feel like we're just chatting. And so when I ask questions, there's usually either a yes or a no answer. So,
okay. Yes, I am.
So.
Short question to ask.
See?
Yes, and whatever I said back there.
Okay.
We'll take back and listen to it.
Jesus, that's so funny. I love it, Dad. Oh my God, that was really funny. I asked her a question and you gave me, 10 minutes of whatever you said because I wasn't listening because I was still waiting for the yes or no. And then, you see, now this is fun. See, you get a little bit of me, I get a little bit of you. Okay, so yeah, you're a leader. I love that because just by your acknowledgement of that, and I think that you are. I mean, I feel that from you too. That there are no issues. You can go anywhere and be social. You don't even have to put anything together. You don't even have to organize anything. I just feel. I mean, when you are a leader types, and there's nothing wrong with other types, but when you're a leader types, people just are automatically drawn to you magnetically. That you don't even have to organize anything. Does that make sense? Of course it does. I said it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I think. So you don't have to try. Just be you, and whenever you're out there, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to fall into your lap? And you don't even have to organize it.
That was so good. Oh,
yeah.
2 minutes left. Wow, 2-minute warning here we got.
Well, actually, we have a little bit longer than that because I'm going to set it. We have about 10 more minutes left because I set it for an additional 10 minutes. But this is what I wanted to share. And you know what? I want your opinion on this, okay? Can you give me your opinion on something that happened?
Okay.
Okay. There is a coworker, and I've known her for years. And I have, and by her own admission, by her own words, that I have added to her life, changed her way of thinking. I mean, when I say 10, at least 10 years. And so she has this respect for me, and she knew me 10 years ago, which I'm totally not the same person. Fast forward to last week. She's going to visit her mother in Chicago. In fact, she's in Chicago now, and she's always had issues with her mother. Sound familiar? It's just like a back and forth. And before she left, I sat with her and we had a conversation. I mean, I actually listened to her and gave her some suggestions, which she was really appreciative of. And then I made the statement before she left. I said, well, when you are in Chicago and you have any problems or any challenges or any issues, feel free to call me. And there's actually two parts of this story. Feel free to call me. And on Friday, she called. It was around 3:30, and I was just leaving the office, getting ready to teach at the gym, and she called. And I chose not to answer the phone. And I chose not to, and she did not leave a message. So 3 hours later, after I taught my cycling class, my spinning class, I texted her, and I said, I saw that you had a missed call. You didn't leave a message. What's up? Question mark, question mark, question mark, smiley face, question mark.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't heard back. Now, my immediate thought was, okay, because she's in need of counsel. I mean, she's always in need of counsel. That's just my take on it. Always in need of counsel. And then a part of me, if I'm going to be really honest, a part of me does not really. I'm shifting, as opposed to counseling, as opposed to letting her go and letting her figure out her own issues. In other words, if she has a question for me, I will say, well, how do you feel? I would ask her. I'll answer her question with her question and allow her to figure her situation out. I am not really into figuring the situation out anymore. So, but she didn't respond to my text, and then I said to myself, oh, creating drama. She's creating drama, and then I had to rewind and go back to what I did in the beginning, and then I said, well, I did say if you need me, call me, and I didn't answer, and so basically I created the drama first. Your take on it, Jay?
My thing is that she's going to call you if you need some help. It's like, and if you're waiting for her to call you, then I think you may be creating some drama for yourself.
No, I wasn't waiting for her to call me. I said that if you do need to call me, but no, I was not. Listen, I'm the opposite of you, Jay, my dear. I'm not into people. I'm not into groups. I'm really a loner type. I can definitely do groups, and I can be in groups, and I am in groups, but I prefer not the group. So, no, I did not want her. Yeah. I was just throwing that out at you.
Yeah, just what's that old saying? Oh, one of my teachers said, just do prayers for them. That's all you can do right now for them.
All of that for that, Jay? That's all you got?
That's all I got. The reason why I say that is that sometimes you just got. If you made the saying, just call me if you need it. They're going to do whatever they maybe have something on the go that you're not aware of, right? So
yeah.
That's another thing. It's like, I don't know. You see, this person lives far away, right?
She's visiting her mother in Chicago. No, she's actually a coworker of mine. She lives here. She's just visiting her mother, and she always has issues with her mother. But you know what? It was my creation, because if I really thought about it in the moment, me not answering the phone call, I know that's creating drama. I mean, if I had thought about it, if I was conscious, as opposed to just, I don't want to talk. I don't feel like talking right now, because there are certain people that I can say I'm going to have a silent day. I'm going to turn off my phone. And there are certain people that are okay with it. And there are also certain people, including my mother, that is not okay with it. So I know that already. And then, honestly, if I really wanted to create peace in that moment to do it all over again, I would have answered the call.
And also, even though they're connected with your mother, or they're connected with the mother, it's what's turmoil in their lives, or that's causing friction that hasn't been dealt with yet too.
Right, which is not my issue.
No, it's not your issue. It's their. One thing I've had to learn is to be like a hawk. You know what a hawk does?
Yeah, just observe.
It looks at the whole picture, and even though you know the answer for some of what's going on, you just have to observe and close your mouth. And that's probably one of the hardest things when you're on this journey too, is that even though you went through maybe some issues that that they're going through, is to be of compassion with the other person too, and just observe. Just observe. It's hard though. I mean, for our family members, it's not the observer part. It's like, okay, let's get involved because they're so close to us. But when there's a friend, sometimes and you feel really lots of love for that person, it can be a hard thing just to watch. Just to watch. You can offer some things, but don't force it upon them. So they're on their own journey.
Okay, so now you're even opening up another topic, which is where I am right now. Besides this radio show, because that's what it's supposed to do, I don't offer. Now, if someone asks me, ask me, yes, but I've been offering advice for years, and what I've learned is that when people are ready, they will be able to listen. But me offering, this is me. It might not be you, might not be someone else, but this is me. When I'm offering, I'm actually speaking a different language, a language that they're not understanding because they didn't even ask me the question. That's where I am right now. But anyway, I think this was a fascinating show. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, actually. I'm just enjoying your topics and enjoying your guests and enjoying your topics every Saturday and Sunday. It's always great to wake up and just enjoy my life and talk to spiritually connected people that are far away, but they're close to heart. So right here.
Yeah. Right back at you. Well, let me share with you before I get off. Oh my gosh. Next. I don't even know who's on next Saturday. I'll have to look at that during the week. But I am scheduling a guest next Sunday, and I found this gentleman. His name is Noah Elkreef, Elkrief. And you know how the universe puts us in contact with people that, who knew? But I was looking for inspiration because I was writing about living in the moment and how to live in the moment, and I was Googling living in the moment, and I Googled I Googled Noah, and this guy, listen to this. This guy, his story, the universe has gifted him with absolutely no thoughts. Yeah, and now he says they come in, and I think if I'm remembering correctly, it happened in 2009, and where the universe has cleared all thoughts from his head, from his mind, whatever, from his head, cleared all thoughts, and he says he has occasional thoughts, but they don't stay for long, and it's very, very rare, and he's going to show us and teach us how. And he actually has a test on his website. It's called 5 Steps, and it's really and you can take it for free. And it's really interesting how we ask you what your real issue is, whatever your issue is, and he can dissect each issue down to discover that the thought is not true, that all of our thoughts are not true. And I'll share with you what my core issue was next week. But I have this issue that, and this is the thing. If you when you're taking this quiz, when you're taking this test, and it is you can't just take it in a minute. You have to really stick with it because he asks you more questions about your question and more questions about your question, even to the point where if it's a side issue and you try to pretend that it's a core issue, it gets kicked out. It's just fascinating. So he is going to be on next Sunday, and his name is Noah, and I cannot wait to talk to him. And he's just so open, and he's going to share with us his journey of not having thoughts. And then he said that, can you imagine not having any thoughts? Can you imagine how you live with no thoughts in your head, no judgments, no thoughts of future, no thoughts of what you're doing, what you're not doing, title, whoever you are, where you are? Can you imagine living like that, Jay?
It'd be interesting. Space, the emptiness of space.
It'd be very peaceful, very peaceful. So that's going to be next Sunday. And I want to thank you so much for listening, Jay. And more than that, thank you for contributing to Reality Spirituality today. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And here we go, signing off. And I want to ask or request that all of you follow me on Twitter. My Twitter name is R.L. Norrington, R.L. Norrington, Norrington. Follow me on Twitter, and if you want to go to my website, you can go to www.RebeccaNorrington.com. That's RebeccANorrington. And also check out Reality Spirituality face page. I'm going to figure out this live streaming next week again, but until next week, all of my listeners, thank you again for being there, and I want to remind you that the universe has gifted you, all of you, with choices, and we are making choices in every waking moment. And so just be mindful of the choices that you're making, and make the choices that are going to bring you whatever, in my priority is peace, but make the choices that you want the future to bring you in every waking moment, because you are creating your future in your present moment. Did I say that? I guess I did. So thank you for listening to Reality Spirituality, and until next week, I love you and talk to you then. Goodbye, Jay. Aloha.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality Spirituality. Oh, now we getting real. Getting real. Good now. Get real good.